Ever stumble upon a book so eerily in tune with modern headlines that it leaves you breathless, wondering if the author somehow glimpsed into the future? That's exactly the feeling that hits when readers first encounter Ingersoll Lockwood's long-forgotten works. Two curious novels penned in the late 19th century that, for some, seem to mirror our current world a bit too closely. Soft, yellowed pages whisper as they're turned under the glow of a single lamp. The hush in the room is palpable, like stepping into a hidden library in a sprawling ancient mansion. A wooden table is piled high with aged volumes, their spines cracked, their stories nearly forgotten by time. Among these relics lie two peculiar books, written more than a century ago by an American lawyer named Ingersoll Lockwood. Little did he know that his words would one day spark conspiracy theories, raise eyebrows across the internet, and prompt us all to question just how well we truly understand the past or the future. The Enigma of Ingersoll Lockwood. Pause for a moment on the life of this mysterious figure. Born in 1841, Lockwood trod the expected path of a 19th-century gentleman. He studied law, built a reputation, and wrote on a variety of subjects. Yet his era, the Gilded Age, was anything but peaceful. Rampant corruption, rapid industrial growth, and yawning gaps between the wealthy elite and those struggling at the margins paved the way for simmering populist movements. Somehow, amid that upheaval, Lockwood found time to publish several works. At first glance, they appear to be simple relics of a distant era, children's stories or obscure political satires that few remembered. Fast forward to the digital age, however, and two of these books, Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, 1893, and The Last President, 1896, have found new life. Why? Because they're uncanny parallels to the modern world, particularly to a certain political figure with the surname Trump, have thrown them into the spotlight. A strange adventure. Baron Trump's Underground Journey. Imagine a grand estate known as Castle Trump, owned by an aristocratic family seemingly blessed with every luxury. Their young heir, Baron, is restless. While other children of noble birth relish lavish banquets and gilded halls, Baron senses a call to explore. One day, he stumbles upon ancient manuscripts hinting at an underground realm, a hidden world beneath the Earth's surface. Guided by a mentor named Don, Baron sets off on a journey through bizarre caverns populated by puzzling life forms. Along the way, he witnesses phenomena that upend every notion of normality. The deeper he travels, the more elastic time itself becomes. Days and nights bleed into one another, and Baron occasionally seems impervious to aging. For 19th-century readers, this story would have felt like pure whimsy, an imaginative child's tale featuring daring adventures and a sage-like guide. Yet today, the parallels appear almost too tidy. Baron Trump, Castle Trump, Don. These once ordinary names and titles now dominate news cycles, making it feel as though the past is peering straight into our present. In online communities, enthusiasts pore over every word, hypothesizing that Lockwood, intentionally or not, was gesturing toward events that would unfold decades down the line? Or is it all an elaborate product of our collective tendency to connect dots where none exist? Evidence is thin, but the intrigue is compelling. After all, coincidences this peculiar can send shivers down your spine. Shifting gears. The Last President. While Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey can be waved aside as a curious children's book, Lockwood's next notable work, The Last President, turns up the tension considerably. Gone are whimsical caverns and fantastical beasts. This time, the narrative delves into political strife and social unrest. In Lockwood's tale, an outsider candidate unexpectedly wins the presidency, shaking the nation to its core. The reaction is visceral, people flood the streets in protest, commerce grinds to a halt, and fear grips the public. The president's policies, unorthodox and untested, jostle an already unsettled society. Some see him as a redeemer of a corrupted nation. Others call him an omen of destruction. Modern readers can't help but map these plot points onto recent political events. The shock victory, the heated protests, the profound national division sound familiar? Naturally, skeptics retort that Lockwood was simply satirizing the chaos of his own era. Believers in the prophecy theory, however, see something more than chance at play. Still, one can't deny the uncanny details. When an 1896 novel portrays a contested election that disrupts society on a grand scale, and we witness something comparable in modern headlines, it's easy to feel as though Lockwood's words have crossed the barrier of time. Stumbling into conspiracy, time travel, Tesla, and Trump. It was nearly inevitable that conspiracy enthusiasts would latch onto these parallels. The notion that Lockwood somehow documented events a century in advance blurs the boundary between whimsical fantasy and downright eerie possibility. For many, that blurred line is where the real magic happens. What if transforms into a puzzle worth untangling. A tale of Tesla's papers. The most famous strand in this conspiratorial tapestry is the link between Nikola Tesla's scientific secrets and the Trump family. When Tesla died, the FBI confiscated his research, igniting rumors that his findings included mind-bending discoveries, potentially ideas about time manipulation. According to some stories, these papers were later reviewed by John G. Trump, Donald Trump's uncle. Could Tesla's groundbreaking work have seeped into the Trump dynasty, steering or shaping future generations? It seems far-fetched. No conclusive proof of these time manipulation documents exists. Yet Tesla's status as an almost mythic genius, paired with the high profile of the Trump name, sparks imaginations. Stranger things have captivated the public mind before. The Montauk Project and other time-twisting rumors look further into the internet's hidden corners, and you'll stumble across legends of top-secret government experiments supposedly bending time and space. One oft-cited example is the Montauk Project, a rumored series of clandestine tests on Long Island involving psychological warfare, teleportation, and, some say, time travel. Could Lockwood have been privy to such clandestine activities? While these accounts are overwhelmingly anecdotal and unverified, they still fuel the idea that Lockwood might have glimpsed hush-hush developments, weaving subtle clues into his tales. If there's any kernel of truth to stories like the Montauk Project, Baron Trump's marvelous underground journey could hint at broader underground operations hidden from public view. The Philadelphia Experiment and shrouded technology. Another legendary thread is the Philadelphia Experiment. Popular lore claims the U.S. Navy rendered a warship invisible or teleported it entirely during World War II, causing disastrous consequences for the sailors on board. Though historians dismiss it as a hoax, it appears often in conspiracy circles about government manipulations of physical law. These theories, when combined with Lockwood's accounts of otherworldly realms and advanced understanding, can appear to form a cosmic roadmap of secret technologies. Perhaps it's a giant leap of faith. Yet, for believers determined to tie Lockwood to a grand conspiracy, every fresh rumor or obscure anecdote is another piece of the puzzle. John Titor and the collective fascination with time travel. You can't discuss time travel without mentioning John Titor, the mysterious online persona who claimed to be a time traveler from 2036. Though Titor's claims fell apart under scrutiny, his saga electrified early 2000 essay internet forums, planting a deep fascination with time travel in popular culture. Some observers see parallels between Titor's cryptic messages and Lockwood's century-old novels. They imagine a lineage of individuals, real or fictitious, who manage to peek into future timelines. It's a tapestry of modern myth, one stitched together by half-truths and the tempting possibility that tomorrow's events aren't set in stone. Why these theories persist? Lacking solid proof, these ideas still endure because they tap into a deep human yearning for the extraordinary. We crave stories of time machines, hidden technologies, and secret projects that promise a more mysterious world than our daily routines suggest. Add a high-profile family like the Trumps to the mix, and you've got a viral recipe. Even skeptics admit that coincidences, when dramatic enough, can exert a gravitational pull all their own. At the same time, a healthy dose of caution is warranted. Many of these tales hinge on rumor or the creative linking of unrelated facts. Yet coincidence is sometimes as compelling as hard evidence in the freewheeling court of public opinion. And so, these stories live on, mutating with each new rumor, balancing wonder and caution. Despite the allure, it's essential to keep a balanced perspective. Curiosity keeps the mind sharp, inspiring us to probe the boundaries of what we know. Caution prevents us from tumbling into a quagmire of misinformation. Is Lockwood truly prophetic, or just an obscure author with an uncanny flair for social commentary? We may never know. Still, the debate is half the fun. It stokes our imaginations, nudges us to explore lesser-traveled paths, and compels us to examine the underpinnings of our world. Whether you lean toward believing these are hidden truths or dismiss them as coincidence, you can't deny how captivating this entire rabbit hole becomes. In the end, one thing is certain. As long as there's room for wonder, stories like these will keep finding an audience. People willing to dig, question, and share in the collective thrill of discovery. Hidden tunnels and underground societies. Another layer to these theories springs right from the pages of Baron Trump's marvelous underground journey. For centuries, explorers and mystics have whispered about legendary underground worlds like Agartha or Shambhala, entire civilizations concealed beneath the Earth's crust, potentially harboring advanced knowledge or technology. In Lockwood's fictional telling, Baron's venture underground leads to encounters that might be read as metaphors for secret government bases or hidden enclaves, places where time warps or unknown beings interact with a chosen few. Is this a symbolic tale of genuine covert installations such as the rumored Dulce Base in New Mexico or subterranean structures in Antarctica? When fiction and speculation intertwine so thoroughly, it becomes challenging to discern reality from myth. Yet the notion that Lockwood slipped coded truths into what appears to be a children's fantasy intrigues anyone who suspects there's more to our history than mainstream narratives let on. Does it even matter if it's real? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Sometimes a story's greatest power lies not in whether it's verifiably true, but in how it captivates us, stoking curiosity and sparking discussions. Real breakthroughs, scientific, cultural, even personal, often begin with a daring spark of imagination. When a tale makes us lean forward, hearts pounding, it's tapping into something profound. Even if Lockwood's parallels are purely coincidental, there's immense value in the experience of exploration. We're reminded that everyday life, with its headlines and routines, can overshadow the larger, stranger tapestry of existence. When an unexpected narrative challenges our assumptions, it can illuminate hidden corners of reality, or, at the very least, reawaken our sense of awe. Don't underestimate that tingle of excitement when you first hear these theories. It's evidence of our enduring ability to wonder. In so many of us, a child still yearns for secret passages and undiscovered realms. Whether we're talking time loops or coded messages in antique novels, these stories beckon to our most curious most alive selves. So, does it matter if Lockwood truly foresaw future events, or if we're simply viewing random coincidences through a conspiratorial lens? Perhaps the bigger question is how these stories make us feel, how they spur us to question the status quo. Remember that history can echo forward in bizarre ways and stay open to hidden possibilities. In a world enamored with cold data, the occasional brush with mystery keeps our minds pliable and our hearts hungry for the unknown. Ultimately, deciding whether Lockwood's works carry a deeper significance is less about solving a puzzle and more about honoring our innate drive to explore, dream, and connect. After all, the real magic often lies in the search, the thrill of guessing, and the sense of wonder that nourishes our quest for answers. Maybe the best takeaway is that we should never lose our hunger for truths, whether they're tucked into old archives or waiting in the recesses of our imaginations. Lessons from the Gilded Age. Taking a step back, consider how Lockwood's turbulent era might explain why his books resonate so strongly now. The Gilded Age was a hotbed of labor strikes, monopolies, and political scandals. Populist agitation and economic uncertainty mirrored many of the struggles we still wrestle with today. It's no surprise that a novel like The Last President, depicting a society teetering on collapse after an outsider's rise to power, would ring familiar in our modern ears. Perhaps Lockwood simply illustrated universal themes: populism, political gridlock, cultural upheaval. These forces appear whenever societies approach critical junctures. If it's prophecy, it's the prophecy of recognizing patterns, not peering into a crystal ball. But that doesn't diminish the book's impact. If anything, it underlines the cyclical nature of history and our ongoing tug-of-war between hope and chaos. But why the story endures? Ever encounter a story so uncanny it feels like reality itself is winking at you? That's the exact sensation many get when they first hear of Lockwood's forgotten works. It's as if some cosmic Easter egg lay hidden on a dusty library shelf, just waiting for an intrepid reader to breathe new life into its pages. We humans are innately drawn to enigmas, especially those hinting at concealed knowledge or untold truths. Lockwood's books do precisely that, setting off alarm bells in our logical minds while pulling at the deeper threads of our curiosity. Odd coincidences demand investigation. How did this come about? Was it sheer chance or something more? Yet, it's not just the puzzle-like quality that propels these stories to fame. It's also the way they tap into primal hopes and fears. Who hasn't fantasized about hidden files, secret messages, or advanced experiments lurking just beyond our everyday world? These notions are both tantalizing and unsettling because they imply our neat, tidy perspectives might be missing entire chapters of the story. Then there's the communal aspect. Once people catch wind of these books, the detective work becomes a group endeavor. Discussions flare up on forums and in comment sections, each person adding their own hypothesis or newly discovered detail. It's digital campfire storytelling, and it forges an instant sense of connection among those who dare to explore the unknown. Whether or not Lockwood prophesied anything is secondary to the gripping conversation his works have reignited. We want to believe there's more to existence, more than stock market graphs and election cycles, more than the day's headlines. The Last President and Baron Trump's marvelous underground journey challenge us to keep looking, keep questioning, and remain open to strangeness in a world that often demands practicality. Join the conversation and the adventure. Chances are you felt your own fascination spark while hearing these tales of underground worlds, peculiar parallels, and potential time loops. It all begs for further exploration, doesn't it? What do you make of these coincidences? Do they defy logic, or are they simply another example of history's recurring themes? Have you stumbled across any other obscure writings or legends that mirror modern-day events in uncanny ways? Leave your thoughts in the comments. The best part about unsolved puzzles is tackling them together. Every fresh angle can illuminate something overlooked. If you find yourself enthralled by hidden histories and eerie echoes of the present, go ahead and hit that like button or subscribe. Every bit of engagement helps sustain this journey into the uncharted realms of lore, myth, and possibility. Into the unknown. As the camera lingers on the worn bindings of Lockwood's books, there's a palpable sense of reverence in the air. It's not merely about the text, it's about the collective thrill, the hush of anticipation as we step into corners of the past that raise more questions than answers. We might never confirm whether Lockwood truly predicted a future presidency or simply reflected his era's political turmoil. But in a climate that often feels overexplained, perhaps there's something liberating about an enduring mystery, one that refuses to be pinned down. In the end, these stories are mirrors, revealing our own preoccupation with the unknown. They challenge us to delve deeper into history, politics, and even the fabric of time itself. So let's hold fast to the spirit of inquiry, cherish the speculation, and see where it leads. Because sometimes, the most unforgettable travels don't end with neat resolutions. They open portals we never dreamed existed. Soft music swells, then fades. The lamp dims. A final glimmer of light glances off the book's antique lettering. Silent, yet beckoning us to turn the page and discover how much of the past really lies behind us, and how much might still be weaving its threads into our future.